Good afternoon, traders and investors. Will back here with another one coming to you on a Wednesday afternoon. Hope you guys had a good day. We had some PPI producer inflation numbers come out today, and the results were a bit mixed, but showed a declining trend in inflation previous to the last 2 months. So that was some good news here, and the market's reacting positively in the end of the day. You can see SPY up 0.41%, QQQ up 0.71%. So we will go over our PPI results, go over our major indexes, our major tech names, and lastly, my portfolio, as I did add a few positions here. So without further ado, guys, let's get right into it. PPI results are out here, and gasoline, food drive U.S. producer prices higher. Core inflation, however, cooling. So very, very good news, guys. Some headlines here. Producer prices increased 0.5% in September here. Gasoline, food costs pushed them up. PPI excluding food, energy, and trade, this is your core number, rises 0.2%. So on an annualized basis, this times 12 is only about 2.4%. Very, very good. That's towards the Fed's target of 2.5% inflation per year. Very good on the producer side. Year on year PPI increases 2.2%. Very good. Back in line with normal. Core PPI up 2.8%, still a bit high here. So you can see, guys, on this chart, beautifully declining chart here in the month of September in relation to August. So as we know, guys, seasonally, right, we were always saying on the channel that July and August may come in a bit hotter as expected because consumers are out busy spending in the summer and companies are also ramping up production to cover those, especially in services and experiences here. But very nice to see that in the month of September, they've been coming down. But look at this. The responsible one, once again, gasoline, which has been the case for the past 2 months. Gasoline prices rose 5.4%, making up more than 40% of the increase in the cost of goods. So your major contributor was gasoline. And let's take a look at oil here. You can see that oil is now significantly down off of our end of September high here, down almost 13%. So significant rise here into July, August, and peaking in September for oil. Oil now on the downtrend, so leads us to believe that the results for your next month's PPI and potentially CPI as well will be coming in lower, with oil and gasoline playing a lesser role in the increases of prices here. So looking forward to seeing those numbers next month translate. And looking on the chart here, guys, this is directly from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics here. So you'll see that the 1% change in PPI. So here we are in 2022. You can see this slight downtick into September from our August highs here. So downtrending in the right directions. You'll see that 0.5 is not a strange number. Yes, we were much higher in 2021 and beginning of 2022. 0.5, however, is not that far off what we were getting previously in our previous peaks, right? 0.4, 0.5, all the way back, right? All the way back to 2012 pretty much. So we're coming back in line with market expectations. This is exactly what you want to see, trending in the right direction. Let's put core on it, right? Core is actually back completely to normal, 0.2% month over month. That's exactly what you want to see. Prior to 2020, you can see that it was around 0.2% all the time, guys. So we are trending in the right direction, very far off of our highs of 2021, 2022, moving in the right direction here. And now you'll see goods and services directly, right? So goods still a bit high, but as you saw, gasoline responsible for a lot of that, 40% as a matter of fact. So coming down here in September, that is what you like to see here on a month over month basis. Not our deflationary numbers that we had earlier in the year, but still coming down here, guys. And through the colder months, fall and winter, I will be expecting this number to come down more towards our inline numbers of roughly between 0.4, 0.5 per month here. So very good on goods. And now services, which was a concern last month, you can see, guys, that we've come down a lot since July, and now August and September have been slightly muted, back in line with what we were getting for the previous years prior to 2020. So very good trend, guys. This is exactly what you want to see, moving in the right direction. All right. So that's pretty much it for PPI. We will see what comes out on the consumer side tomorrow, guys, but we are expected to come in lower than our previous months. So let's take a look at our major indexes now. Yeah. So SPY, another green day, QQQ as well. Let's take a look at the heat map, guys. You will see that the heat map, very broad market participation. Once again, most of major tech was up. Only Netflix pretty much carrying its little version of entertainment here to the downside here. But for the most part, very, very good performance, except for energy here and a slight little bit in our medical devices sector, right? But as a whole, very decent performance. And on the one-day relative here, you can see that most of our major sectors were in the green, led by real estate here. And the only three in the red, healthcare, defensive, and energy. On the 1 week relative, guys, still very, very bullish, obviously, because we've been coming up for the past 4 trading days in a row here. So very, very bullish results on the 1 week relative, still clawing back at our massive September drawdown. So moving in the right direction. So what does that mean on the technicals, guys? Well, similar to yesterday's video, there won't be much change, right? Daily bounce is still underway here. We've engulfed our previous downtrend, so downtrend is now canceled. Now, can the bulls set the daily uptrend here, right? So we've engulfed, that's step 1. Need to see a daily trend change here. So whenever this move tops out here, guys, look for the daily trend change. We're going to be looking for a higher low. Anything above 420 is going to be that higher low for daily uptrend continuation. And then we will look to the weekly to see how much of this most recent weekly leg down can we recapture here. Need to get as close as possible to 451 on this upswing here. Give the bulls a chance. If they can't V-shape it, they're going to have to do it in 2 steps. But so far, so good, guys. Like the size of this bounce. Just need to give me the confirmation of the daily uptrend reversal. QQQ, same thing. However, QQQ has confirmed the daily uptrend. So at this point, we will just be looking for daily uptrend continuation. As soon as this move tops out, going to be looking for a higher low, anything above 354 pretty much, going to be that higher low. Good moving average support, guys. So here, if we pull back into this area, going to be looking for this moving averages to be acting as support. We also have previous resistance here, which will be support. So 365 down to 363 should be a pretty good pocket for the bulls to potentially pull another leg up and continue this move higher. QQQ, very good move here in relation to our most recent drop from 380 areas, right? So take a look at this, guys. We've already recaptured over 6. I know it's a bit small, but we've recaptured over 61% of the move at this point, probably about 65. Going to be very hard for the bears to flush this, guys, especially with a lot of our major tech names now recapturing their dailies and weekly uptrends. Very hard for the bears to clean flush this without some complete disaster in the market falling apart. So looking very good on the bull side. Just going to be looking for the daily trend change continuation here and looking to come up as close as possible. If we can't V-shape this in one clean move, going to have to 2-step it and reverse it. Still a weekly downtrend. Need to see the bulls put in the new weekly uptrend. XLF financials here. Financials, very, very good performance here. Bit of a muted day in relation to yesterday as well, closing slightly higher. I like the size of this bounce. As we said yesterday, the bulls engulfing almost all of the move created massive space, guys. Massive space for the daily uptrend reversal here. Anything above 32.20 will just be for your daily uptrend reversal. And then once again, we will look to the weekly. How much can we get in relation to 35 to really bring ourselves up, set ourselves up nicely for the weekly uptrend change? Still in a weekly downtrend, so the bulls have their work cut out for them. But step 1 is complete. Create enough space, give me the daily uptrend reversal, and we will be good. If for ever which reason we continue trending down, you guys know the drill. 32 all the way down to 30 is my sweet spot. We'll be definitely looking to pick up some shares here of XLF, the whole index as a whole. Charles Schwab still representing my best name in terms of risk to reward, right? Sitting currently in the monthly support zone. This was our previous all-time high resistance for a very, very long time here on Charles Schwab. So it is acting as beautiful support right now. Coming in to the lows, once again, $50 range, very, very juicy area. If we continue down here, I will continue to write Charles Schwab. I've written so much Charles Schwab in this area, not this week, but if we do get some decent CPI tomorrow, I will definitely be looking to target these lows. 50, 51, 50 would not mind being assigned some shares there. My favorite name in financials by far. Now let's move down to healthcare, yeah? So healthcare here, also very decent bounce underway here, right? Recapturing a lot of it in relation to 132, the last guy who started this move. So you can see, guys, that on the fibs here, we've recaptured over 80% of the move, setting the bulls up nicely for the daily trend change, but we haven't got it. The only one that's did it is QQQ so far. So we're going to be looking out for that on healthcare. They have the juice to do it. Now we just need to confirm pretty much. And we're also going to be looking for the weekly. How high on the weekly can we get in relation to 135.50-ish? Get me as high as possible. Get me above these moving averages on this weekly move. And you'll set up potentially for the weekly trend change. This whole area down here, 127, 126, huge support, huge monthly support. and huge weekly support as well. That's no secret to why we bounced in this area. That's exactly what we were targeting. Bulls reacting from it beautifully here. So still some good opportunities in the whole healthcare sector here. Highlighted a few of them on yesterday's video at this same time. Just going to be looking for the daily uptrend reversal. IWM Russell performing decently here, still trying to capture most of this leg down here that we just got, right? So moving up nicely, still need the daily trend change, guys. So a lot of things are the same, still need the daily trend change. These daily bounces are nice, but until they can convert into daily trend changes, I can't be 100% convinced, right? But on the weekly, looking for the weekly bottoming process, we came down into our sweet spot here. If we do continue to pull down here for XYZ reason, I will be looking to add to our IWM Russell short put positions here, right? I haven't been able to write them in a long time, since May pretty much, but I am looking forward, if we continue trending lower in this area, to write a few positions on IWM. I think it represents some very decent risk to reward. Need the bulls to confirm the daily uptrend here, but looking good. So pretty much anything above 169.50 now. Looking for the higher low, daily uptrend confirmation, and then we will move to the weekly. How much of this weekly? A lot of work to do, guys, on this weekly leg, right? Need to get as high as possible to 191, and that's not going to be easy. I would like to see them at least get up to the moving averages here. Going to have to two-step this for sure. Now, Dow Jones names. Dow Jones names looking fairly healthy as well. Not too much price action today, probably waiting for CPI, but Dow Jones bounce is very healthy, engulfing the entire bear leg down, creating enough space for the daily trend change. Once again, need to see the daily trend change. Anything above 32,800 will be just for a higher low potential to set the daily uptrend here, right? A lot of very, very solid names still remain on the Dow Jones for ripe for the picking. John Deere was in my 10 value stock video here. John Deere still near our lows pretty much that we had back in May, right? So very, very good opportunity. John Deere with an extremely low price to earnings ratio, very low. We haven't seen this low of a PE ratio since 2013, 2014. Even if the stock looks high on a technical basis, it is actually pretty cheap, as they're doing a great job of increasing earnings here. So that is another one. We also have Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton not in the Dow Jones, but representing a very good value / growth name, in my opinion, right down in my sweet spot here, right? 145 area on the monthly, just looking for the monthly higher low here. Tons of space to do it. I do think that Louis Vuitton is positioned very, very attractively for the next 1 to 5 years. We, of course, have Nike. Nike still trading below $100. You can see how much off the all-time highs Nike is. Nike still trading off the all-time highs by about 45%. Great opportunity there. We also have Disney. Disney also at the lows here. I would probably be starting a cheeky little position. If we do pull back, nice little bounce on Disney here, engulfing the previous move. So we'll be looking for the bulls to set the daily uptrend on Disney. If we pull back to these moving averages, 82, I will be trying to write some options here. 82, 81 is going to be it for me. Probably do 2 or 3 contracts on Disney. Would not mind riding Disney for a little cheeky leg up here, potentially into $90. So a lot of names out there, guys, on the value side that you can look into that are still crushed off of all-time highs and in their bottoming process. So looking forward to that. Now let's move on to our major tech names. So now looking at Apple. Apple still continuing this one push up here. So daily downtrend canceled. The bulls have now reversed it here. Need to set the daily uptrend, similar to SPY, similar to a lot of indexes, right? This is a nice daily leg up. Need to set the daily uptrend here. Going to be a good area of confluence down here. The moving averages and my little support zone right down here. If we pull down, I will continue to write Apple in this position here. I did have an Apple position. I've had Apple positions, as a matter of fact, for the past 3 weeks. I will continue to do so as long as we are close to my sweet spot here on Apple. Looking very, very, very good, guys, for the daily uptrend confirmation. Just need to get it. And on the weekly, let's see how much of this move in relation to 189 can we capture back. If they're not able to V-shape this, going to be looking for the 2-step recovery on Apple on the weekly here, but very, very pleased with the bulls move. So just know that any pullback here is most likely going to be for dip buying by the bulls. Anything above 167, just going to be a daily higher low for further continuation. AMD very, very, very solid, even though we didn't push higher today. Looking very good indeed. Daily uptrend is more than confirmed at this point, right? Tons of space. Anything above 99 pretty much is just going to be for a daily higher low. Look for these moving averages. Good area of confluence, 104, 103 area, right? Previous resistance going to be support and the moving averages. So if we do pull back, look for AMD in this area here for the potential continuation of the daily uptrend here. Weekly looking very good. 1, 2, 3 legs down here. Now 1 bull leg up on the weekly. You've engulfed this entire move, looking very, very good. If we can crush this to the upside and then reverse to the weekly uptrend, well, your monthly low will be set. At that point, it will be monthly higher low set and potentially monthly monthly resumption of a monthly leg up here. And we're going to be looking for AMD to start pushing back here into the high teens, 20s, and then eventually 30s here over the next couple of months here. Looking forward to their earnings report here end of October here, but they should be performing pretty well. AMD with an extremely solid financial position. I like it, especially at these levels. Amazon having a beautiful day, guys. I'm up 1.81% here, and Amazon doing exactly what we wanted them to do in yesterday's video. They set the daily uptrend, finally setting the daily uptrend, joining Team Bull with a lot of other names that have set their daily uptrends, right? Similar to Meta as well. So Amazon now reversing this whole leg down, starting to reverse, daily uptrend confirmed. At this point, anything above 124, any pullback going to be for a daily higher low, for daily uptrend continuation here. Keep an eye. We do have a nice little pocket down here right below 130, right? 128 is the area that we might start bouncing off of if we do pull back into here. I've been very lucky to write some Amazon positions in the 124, 121 area over the past 2 weeks, now running a little bit away from me, but that's okay here. Starting to finally recapture a bit of this weekly move. I need to see the bulls get as high as possible to 145. It's a big move down, guys. May not be able to to V-shape this, may have to two-step this, but they're putting in some good work off the lows here, like Amazon here. No real red flags. I'd like to see them catch the 135 gap fill here on this move up, really create enough space here, and then maybe pull back into this 130 zone, use it as support, and then continue the leg higher here. So they're looking very decent on Amazon. No red flags whatsoever, guys. And now moving down to Google. Wow, what a monster is Google, guys. Kind of giving me Meta vibes. So Meta and Google almost are 2 lead bulls here, to be honest with you, right? So Google completely reversing this bullish leg down, engulfing in one shot, guys. The V formation continues on Google, marching higher pretty much for the last 2.5 weeks of trading. Love to see it here. So still have not set the daily uptrend, guys. Eventually we will need to pull back here. And if we do pull back, I'd be targeting probably these moving averages right here, 137, 136. For this move down, you also have previous resistance, which will now be acting as support in this whole range. That's why I'm saying that. So look out for this move here. Anything above 128, just for your daily higher low for continuation. Google looking very bullish on the weekly. Weekly uptrend continues. As Google moves higher, we're almost close to our 145 resistance here, and then all-time highs, guys. No red flags on Google whatsoever. Very, very healthy chart, if I do say so myself. So keep an eye out on that for Google. No red flags whatsoever. Bit too high for me to add in this position, but no reason to sell in my opinion. Now moving down to Meta. Meta with another solid day, almost 2% up, guys. Love to see this on Meta after they've been crushed here. Well, not crushed, but just been stagnant for the better part of the last 2 months. Now finally able in 4 days to crack this entire massive month and a half long range, right? Since pretty much the end of August here. So very, very good. Daily uptrend, well in motion, guys. Any pullback on Meta, anything above 298 will just be for your daily higher low. Target this previous resistance here, 312, and your moving averages if ever we do pull back. That should seem like a very good area to me. We are targeting now at this point, guys. We did crack our previous 52-week highs ever so slightly. So now you have to look higher on Meta, guys. Where are we going on Meta? Well, the next possible area is going to be all the way up to your 340. This whole pocket of resistance up here, that's what we're moving up to. Weekly uptrend, heavily confirmed by the bulls here, now entirely in their favor. No real red flags on Meta whatsoever. I'm expecting this to continue here in the bulls' favor here. So very strong positioning by Meta. Meta and Google are 2 lead bulls currently here. So watch out for them, guys. Bit too rich for me to add right now, but no reason to sell. Microsoft doing a very good job as well, pushing up another 1.2% here on the day. So daily uptrend on Microsoft continues. Any pullback on Microsoft, anything above 311 here is going to be for your daily higher low. For daily uptrend, continuation, something like this. If we do pull back, target this area of confluence, right? Previous resistance will now be support, 321. Moving averages down here as well. So if you do pull back in this area, expect the bulls to be buying this dip, daily uptrend continuation. Look to the weekly here. We're now starting to really claw back at this weekly move, guys. I love to see it, right? So we're now almost 80% of the way up. It's going to be very hard, guys, for the bears to flush this, right? So if Microsoft can't V-shape this, they will have to potentially two-step this. It's a weekly downtrend currently. So the bulls, to reset this, they will have to set a new weekly uptrend similar to exactly what Meta did right here, right? 1, 2-step. Now you need to see this on Microsoft, right? So maybe 1, 2-step on Microsoft as well is what we're looking at. Coming off my sweet spot zone, wasn't able to get any Microsoft down here, just barely made it out of there, but very happy for our long-term bulls here. No red flags on Microsoft either if we do pull back in this area. In my opinion, definitely for buying here. If we do pull back into the lower 320s, I may even try to get some contracts in the 315. So we'll see what happens with that. Now moving on to, NVIDIA. NVIDIA, massive day on NVIDIA, guys. I know it's only 2% here, but look at this move on NVIDIA, guys. Really bullish move off our lows here. Daily uptrend continuing at this point, guys. Anything above 433, whenever this move tops out, anything above 433, daily higher low for continuation of the upside. Good resistance, previous resistance, now support, and your moving averages. So target these areas of confluence, guys, for your reaction zones. Doesn't mean that they'll hold, but they will get a reaction here for sure, right? So when it comes down to these areas, that's when I look to write options here. NVIDIA, however, too rich for me, just using it as an example. Daily uptrend continuing here. Weekly, starting to really claw back a lot of this move, guys. At this point, guys, right, we are back up above 65% of this bear move down. So going to be very tough for the bears to clobber this and send us down into a weekly downtrend. May just see the bulls try to either V-shape this or two-step this exactly like Meta, but bulls looking very, very strong. NVIDIA a bit too high for me. Obviously, your areas of resistance is going to be your all-time highs here between 500 and 505 pretty much. So keep an eye on that. No red flags on NVIDIA. Bulls just grinding higher ever so slightly here. And now let's move down to Tesla. So Tesla here, very, very decent day on Tesla. Even though they did pull back, they moved up again into the 268 area, getting rejected once again, however, but not losing much price here, guys. Keep in mind, earnings is next Wednesday, so I'm not expecting too much of Tesla before that. Now, if they have good earnings, guys, going to be looking to crash 278 here, but we're set up, guys, like this month. The key time frame for me on Tesla, guys, is the monthly, right? We're looking for the monthly higher low to then explode here. Tesla Q4 is usually that time. So we're kind of looking like that as well, right? So even if earnings doesn't do too well and we continue consolidating, getting tight here, guys, going to be looking good into the end of the year here on Tesla, in my opinion here. So Tesla, daily uptrend continuing here. Any pullback is just going to be for your daily higher low. Anything above 243 at this point, we'll just be looking for the daily higher low. Look at this area, guys, this previous little area of support and your moving averages here. If we do pull back, I expect that to play out as some good level of support temporarily until earnings, and then earnings is going to send this either way. EPS and margins are going to be the two major ones. They didn't deliver as many vehicles, guys, this time around. So probably won't be beating on revenue, but if we can get an earnings per share and margins increase, guys, that would be absolutely phenomenal. Very, very, very good results for Tesla. So that will be really the most important part of their earnings report next week, in my opinion here. So keep an eye on that for Tesla, but very, very good movement, guys. Even on the weekly, we're recovering nicely, but I don't want to overcommit before earnings, guys, because it could go either way. If they get really good earnings and smash 279, guys, weekly uptrend will be confirmed, and that's a very, very important thing in my opinion. But crack 235 to the downside, unfortunately, weekly downtrend is set, and we'll just be further consolidating here in this massive little range that we've created. Now, Palantir. Palantir, also a bit of an inside trading candle. Bulls kind of looking like they want to top out here. Don't want to speak too soon because Palantir can go either way, but very healthy daily uptrend. Any pullback, if we do top out here, any pullback above 1488 is just going to be for your daily higher low for the bulls to reset. Keep an eye, guys, this area right here, 1650, acted as previous resistance here for a considerable amount of time. If we pull back into this area with the moving averages, I expect that to act as decent support for maybe the bulls to commit to another leg up here. But very, very bullish daily uptrend, and on the weekly uptrend looking very healthy as well as we start to move higher towards our $19-20 range. So looking very, very bullish on Palantir. A bit too rich for me. You guys know me. If this would have broken to the downside and head into the 13 down to 11 areas, I would have been heavily playing Palantir. But unfortunately for me, but we didn't get down there. But fortunately for your long-term bulls, which I also have some Palantir shares from down here, Can't complain, right? Palantir bulls doing very, very, very good. So just look for that pullback as soon as we do top out. But bulls looking very healthy, guys. Daily uptrend, weekly uptrend now recaptured, and monthly uptrend is still underway. So no red flags whatsoever. And now lastly, PayPal. PayPal doing absolutely nothing, guys. Still stuck in this 58, 57 hole range down here. Still looking for the bulls to make a play into the $60 range. Get me into the $60 range and then set the daily uptrend here. And then we can look to the weekly, see how much can we recapture towards this 65 level here. Excuse me, guys. So how much can we recapture, right? But as of now, guys, PayPal doing nothing. So not much to report on the technicals. That's the move that I want to see. And obviously, if we break down towards 55, guys, I will be averaging. My average area pretty much is going to be 55 to 50. We'll see how low we can get, but this is the area that I'm targeting for an average down. Obviously, my break even on my shares of PayPal and the trading account here is around 65.81. So not yet juicy enough to write calls. Was able to write calls once back here and not juicy enough yet for me to add to the position. So kind of caught in an in-between scenario. So that's pretty much it for your market recap. Now let's take a look at my portfolio briefly. So my portfolio had a nice little update today, almost trading at 34% on the year, 33.76. The S&P 500 up about 13.51 here. So not quite a triple here, but over 2.5x the S&P. We're really crushing the S&P this year, so really can't be upset even if we did have some down streaks here and some portfolio withdrawals. Keep in mind, I did withdraw about 12% of this portfolio, so performing very decently in the grand scheme of things, guys. And I do think that in the next 3 months before the year end, we will be able to go get over 50% year-to-date returns here, so looking forward to that. Versus the NASDAQ, you'll see as well. NASDAQ, we are outperforming here, 33.76. NASDAQ sitting at around 30 here. So good outperformance against the NASDAQ. And keep in mind, I will reiterate that I did not buy and hold Meta, NVIDIA, Tesla, like all of your big tech stocks that ran ridiculous amounts of percentages this year from their bottoms, right? Google, Amazon, from their $80 lows. I've had none of them. This has just been rotating positions and running the options wheel, right? So even though the tech heavy sector had one of their best years, I've just been having a normal year running the exact same strategy, haven't benefited at all from big tech buy and hold juicy gains, right? So strategy performing beautifully as it should be. And now let's take a look at the positions, guys. Added a few. So we still have our Apple 175s here. Apple wrote them for 45 cents. They're down to 15 cents. So very, very good profit on that. Not a very big week for me, only about $200 in premium, guys. Really went light this week because it's a CPI week and I missed Monday because I was celebrating Thanksgiving with the family here. So a bit of a short week for me and CPI week going pretty light. But it's okay. We still have a few positions to roll with here. AMD, I wrote the 103s today. Not that much premium on them, but I did want to expose myself a bit to AMD. 104s were a bit, they're not that they were too risky, guys, but with CPI, I didn't want to take a chance. If I want AMD, I want to get it as cheap as possible and then ride it to the upside. Wrote the 103s for 24. They're down to 16 intraday. So good profit there. QCOM wrote the 108s here for 35 cents. So QCOM in a very, very nice range here, guys. I like this stock a lot in this range down here. 108 area is very beautiful long-term support, right? Even on the monthly, very, very beautiful area of support. So figured I should write in this area and get some premium off of that. And our UPS 152.5s, they're still chilling here. Most of the premium has come out of these. So we'll see how they perform. UPS obviously still above our 152.5, this yellow line right here. Currently trading around 155.30. Wouldn't mind being assigned UPS, guys. I think they will have a nice recovery into the 160, maybe even all the way up to high 168 area on this initial recovery here, guys. This will obviously be your area of resistance here. So wouldn't mind being assigned UPS and riding the shares up. That would prove to be from here roughly about $1,000 on that position. Very juicy return. So I'll continue to play this one probably next week as well. Still holding Coca-Cola, still assigned. Coca-Cola down a little bit today, so we'll wait. Not high enough for calls. PayPal, you guys know, been in that one for a while. Small position on Bitcoin. TMF, still down on TMF. Not low enough for me to average in again, but yields have been coming down. So this position has been coming up a bit. Going to be looking to further our recovery. CSIQ, still trapped. Would like to see it come up all the way up into the $26, $28, $29 range for me to start writing some options on it. My break even is not this. It's around 28, roughly 28.30 is my break even, 28.35, this level right here. So if we can get back up to there, guys, I'll start writing some calls here and start getting some premium back on that. And obviously my banking shares continue to be down. We're down roughly $2 a share on that on around 900 shares. So down, you can see the losses on this side right here for full transparency. Down, so we're running unrealized losses, guys, of roughly, between like $5,500, $6,000 right now. So we continue to write options premium, and these positions, when they do come back, and trust me, they will come back here, the account will be in a very, very good position here. We'll be back to higher than when we started dropping, even though they'll only come down to par because we continue to write options premium every week. So that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, consider liking, helps me out a lot. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're new. And as always, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Options, general macro questions, or stock picks, just let me know, guys. I'll be happy to answer, always get back to you. So take care, guys. Have fun trading tomorrow. Big day CPI, and peace.